Alrighty boys, welcome back to another step-by-step video. Now today's video we're going to be talking about Ace. Now like I said guys, we're going to go ahead and move into that pattern that I was talking about the other day, where we're going to be doing like new operator, mute, new operator, ace, new operator back to mute, and then new operator back to ace. We're going to move on with that pattern like I was saying. Let me know your guys' feedback on that, if you guys mind or if you hate it. Whatever, let me know what you guys think about it. But to get us started here for today's video, or this step-by-step, is we're going to be over on Lair. We're going to be attacking the bunks bomb site. Now here's the really important thing when it comes to ace, is that you always want to make one of your ace holes, like when you're opening up a wall, be a walkthrough if possible. Now sometimes it's not going to be possible, and the reason why is because sometimes there's going to be like a bandit on the wall who's going to be bandit tricking. So when that type of stuff does happen, you want to make sure that you are at least opening up the wall. Opening the wall is more important when you're getting bandit trick, but if there is no bandit, then you want to always try to make sure you have a walkable breach. And unfortunately in the background here, we're going to end up seeing our Ram die to the Oryx off on his roam right there. So I'm going to go ahead and peek on this little pixel angle here to get myself a free kill on the smoke in this position. And then my teammate's going to follow up and kill one over by the hallway for outside of Bunk's hallway by bottom green in this position. And so what I'm going to end up doing here is I'm going to go ahead and get on my drone here. We're going to go ahead and drone out sight. We're not going to see anybody inside of bunks, but inside of briefing on the pillar, we're going to see a zombie. However, there's nobody else protecting the zombie in this position. So what I need to do in this position is I need to create space for me and my Thatcher. So I'm going to go ahead and walk in and swing the zombie aggressively for pillar here, because if I can basically like secure the bomb site by killing that guy, then we're going to be in a much better shape to be able to win. Because right here, after I kill the zombie, we have full sight control. So my Thatcher is actually behind me on the breach in this position. So he's walking in the sight with me right here. And so I'm going to go ahead and start hitting a plant here. Now the reason why I'm faking right here is because I get audio of Oryx playing inside of security here. So I know that he's going to try to swing me at some point. But he ends up deciding to run outside the breach in this position. So I'm going to go ahead and just play this a zombie fortress that the zombie conveniently made for me. And now we're just waiting for a little bit of audio. Once we get a little bit of audio, we're going to swing aggressively to kill the Oryx when he tries to go underneath this zombie barrier and get ourselves a free kill to secure the round right there. The next time we're going to be over on Chalet, we're actually going to be attacking the wine bomb site. And honestly, this bomb site I feel like is probably one of the easier bomb sites in the game to actually contest, because of the fact that once you use ace, it's actually really easy to take it overall. Now one of the things here that you're going to see me do is I'm going to run around spawn the long way out. And the reason why is because sometimes people like to impact the snowmobile wall and try to like run out of this like big garage basically. And so I like to rotate around the outside of that spawn right there, just so that way I can make sure nobody actually goes for that play basically. And then right here we're going to go ahead and drone big garage here. We're going to see that nobody's actually playing in it, but trophy hatch is open. Now trophy hatch being open is actually going to be very important in this position, because one of the things that I don't like doing, and I'm sure a lot of other people don't like doing, is that if that hatch is open, you're not going to want to push in the car garage. So one of the ways that you can mitigate that is you can go ahead and shoot open the window here for trophy. This is going to prevent anybody from playing actively on the hatch, trying to prevent people from walking in. Now what's going to end up actually happening here is I'm going to get audio of Legion dropping into car garage from inside of trophy here. And so my expectation here was that he was going to be trying to look for like an ego challenge onto me. However, he doesn't end up trying to ego challenge me like whatsoever. He's just going to pretty much like try to rat in there, and then my Blackbeard during this round is going to go ahead and catch wind that he's in there, and he's going to basically form a pincer with me. So I'm going to go ahead and just wait here for Blackbeard to take the attention. Then we're going to swing aggressively to get ourselves a free kill on the Legion right there. Now we're in a nice little 5v3 position. I'm going to go ahead and get back on my drone once again. We're going to start looking at sight in this position. We're going to see a Goyle on the site door. I'm also in this position. I'm checking to see what they have for the main wall in this position, to see if I can actually open up the main wall. Now one thing that's important to note here is that I could have went and opened up Boiler, but since my teammates are so separated, I might as well just walk in and swing aggressively for blue, because if I don't, there's a really high chance my teammates will start slow dying. And so I walk in to kill Cade, and then we get audio of a zombie on pillar pretty much doing like a ring around the Rosie with me here. So I'm going to go ahead and swing aggressively all the way around pillar, and then I'm going to stop halfway through and then swing back the other way, so that way I can catch her for a gunfight and take a 50-50 and I do end up winning it, so we secured the round right there. Honestly, I really shouldn't say it's a 50-50 because I am using the AK-12, and the AK-12 is kind of a busted attacker weapon for a support operator to have. You know what I mean? So it's not really 50-50. I'd probably say it's like a 70-30. Like, the only way a zombie wins right there is probably by just straight up headshotting me. You know what I mean? But as long as he doesn't headshot me, I'm going to win that all day long. So it is what it is. Now, next up, we're going to be on Oregon here. We're going to put claymores on the window hop outs. Out of spawn here, and I always like to come out of that junkyard spawn because of those windows in particular. It's just a nice way of like making sure nobody can jump out of those windows, which is a very common thing for people to do on Oregon. Now, the thing that I usually will go for on this map is that I usually like to upside down rappel for master here on this master doorway, and then I like to peek through trophy and master to try to see if I can get any potential kills for attic when they have the head holes. That's another reason why I don't actually love the head holes, is because when you have the head holes, it makes it really challenging to actually play inside of attic for the people who like to swing it aggressively. Now right here, unfortunately, there's going to be mute jammers on the wall in this position. So the idea that I'm going for next here is that I want to open up the main wall. So I'm going to go ahead and drone lobby now. I'm going to end up seeing a warden that's playing inside a lobby here. And we need to get rid of this warden in this position because I won't be able to get the mute jammer from below if I don't kill him. So we're going to go ahead and try to spray through the wall right here. This was a play for me to let Ash swing it aggressively. Unfortunately, Ash kind of like just ignores the warden and tries to run up main in this position. So we're going to go ahead and get the refrag for Ash right there. Now what's going to end up happening is this is actually going to unfortunately turn into a 1v3. Now the thing that I'm trying to do in this position is I'm trying to wallbang for the mute chamber that's on the main wall. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get it. And like I said, it's going to turn into a 1v3. So I'm going to go ahead and just be like, okay, at this point I need to just look for picks at this point and try to see if I can make the play like that. So I'm going to go ahead and go back on the upside down rappel for master here. We're waiting to see if anybody tries the ego contest for us, and so I'm holding the attic head holes here because attic head holes is like a very common place that people ego challenge from, and I get myself a free kill on Fenrir. And then there's actually going to be another guy that's going to jump out one of the white windows from earlier on in the round that I put claymores on, so I get myself a free kill right there. And then now we're in a nice 1v1 position with Doc. I'm basically trying to bait out gunfire here so that way he will empty his mag. And then right here he actually empties out most of his mag, so I'm going to swing aggressively and basically get myself a free kill on him because once again I have the AK-12, so it's a more winning gunfight for me in that position unless he headshots me, obviously. And that's one of the nice things about being an ace and mute main, you know, like with the AK-12, it's just one of the better attacker weapons, so most of the time you're going to win your gunfight as long as you like hit your shots for the most part, and then as well as like headshots as being a factor, you know what I mean? Against most defenders, you're just going to outright win your gunfights. Now, next up, we're going to be over on Cafe here. Now, normally when I attack the basement bomb site of this bomb site, I try to look for some kind of bakery take usually at first. If the enemy team is doing like a very heavy hold for bakery, then I'll just rotate to do like vertical in this position. So like right here, I'm not really seeing any of my teammates rotating over to me, and most of my teammates working the backside. This is really important to like take note of when you're playing an operator like Ace or Thermite or whatever, is that if your whole team is trying to push backside, you might as well, instead of trying to force like a bakery push in this position with all these meat jammers, all these head holes, all this setup, you might as well just like refocus your push basically and like just chalk it all together and try to push together with your team instead, because overall it's just going to be a much better play, if that makes sense, to push together with your team than to try to force your own push, you know what I mean? Like, I do think though that with the bakery take, it is very free if you can get your teammates to go with you for it and you can actually get control of it. However, my teammates, like I said, they're not pushing with me whatsoever, so what we're going to end up having to do here is we're going to go ahead and rotate up to vert. Now, one of the things that actually happened on the previous round of this game, since we're on round 3, is we actually dropped for freezer in this position, and the thing that happened when we dropped freezer is we were able to take site pretty easily, so I ended up just looking to open up freezer wall. Now, honestly, with the Selmas that I actually put down for the freezer wall right there, I put it inside from the hatch, and the reason why I did that is because the previous round, me and that Habana actually dropped a freezer hatch to take site. So my expectation here was that there's going to be somebody trying to flank me in this position. So all I'm trying to do is wait for this guy to try to look for some kind of flank play onto me. Now what ends up actually happening is my Habana is actually going to get the kill, I believe on a Vigil if I'm not mistaken. And like I said, our goal, our expectation on this round is we're going to go ahead and try to do the same freezer push. So we need to make sure we clear out all the roamers, which is what we did with that Vigil. We just waited for him to swing aggressively, and luckily for us, our Habana was able to get the kill. And then just like before, we're going to drop the freezer hatch again, and we're going to swing aggressively to get a refrag for our Habana, but unfortunately we're in a 1v2 position now, even with that refrag. There's one guy playing inside a bakery. The other guy in this position is a Doc. He's playing over by the hallway, so I need to make this into a 1v1 position somehow. Now right here I fake plant, and the reason why is because I'm trying to get Doc to move in this position. However, when I get Doc to move, unfortunately I'm not going to be able to kill him. However, I do get audio of Mute shuffling in this position, so we're going to swing him instead to get a free kill. His mistake was not swinging me right there, so I ended up getting a free kill into him off of the audio. And then right here we're going to go ahead and plant. The Doc took the long way around towards Freezer, and just like that, it's pretty much GG's. We just have to play off of audio. We wait for him to swing the double door, swing aggressively to get ourselves a free kill. But anyway guys, hope you guys enjoyed today's step-by-step video. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.